Good morning, precious. Mwah, 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 mwah. How you doing, baby? Happy, what's today? Thursday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos. If you see any of them that you like, just hit share. Yes, I am aware it's afternoon. Calm down. Calm down. So y'all, today, make sure you get a copy of my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. You can get it from lulupublishing.com or you can get it from Amazon. It's a good read. I'm not going to hold you too long, y'all. It's late. I got stuff to do. I almost didn't make it. Yeah, I'm doing too much. I got to slow down, right? We are raising our daughters, part 24. We have an 8th grader in my case, and we have a 4th grader. Yep. We're doing good. Yep. I'm going back, taking us back in time as we do raising our daughters. I couldn't think of nothing else better than to take you through how I was raising mine. You know, just so some of the stuff can make sense to you. Make sure some of it click for you. So in my case, yep, I got an 8th grader and a 4th grader right about now. Everything going good. Everything that I instilled this far is sticking. Yep. Me and Dad is divorced right about now. Been divorced for some years. The baby is primarily with me Monday through Friday. I'm dropping her off like clockwork on the weekends. The oldest daughter is with me. She's with her dad off and on. So yeah, we were doing pretty good. The boys were on their own. I don't think they were living with us at that time. They had their own place, I think. One might have been staying with us. I'm not sure. I'm trying to go back that far, y'all. I'm old. I'm trying to go back, think about it, right? So yeah. Yeah. By this time, the youngest has a cell phone. Yeah. About 9 years old, 4th grade. And the oldest doesn't. Yeah. He calling her all the time, every day. She's 9 years old. She done had the cell phone for a year now, right? Babe, the oldest don't have one. Nope. So now I know what he was talking to her about every time he was calling. Yeah. This is where we talk about respecting the dynamic of each other's household. So when you guys move out and you moving, y'all living in separate houses, y'all sharing the baby over your house a couple days, the other parent's house a couple days, you gotta respect the dynamic of the household, and it shouldn't be hard to do, right? Because if y'all was still living together, it's a good chance that everything would have remained the same, right? So it's not that hard when you move into a different house and y'all sharing the baby to keep some of the things still the same. Yep. So just respecting that dynamic of the other parent's household. When you leave, when he said that he was going to get her a cell phone, I was against it. Yeah, I asked him not to do it. I gave him all my reasons why. Like, if we were still together, he wouldn't have got her one, right? Because he knew how I felt about that. Yeah, children having cell phones, I'm totally against that. Yeah, before the age of 13, I don't see no reason why a child, I don't even need one at that age, but they do. You know, some of them are transitioning, about to go to high school. They might be catching the bus home. You know, I get it. I do. But yeah, I'm totally against children having cell phones. When they have cell phones, they are exposed to too much too fast. Yeah. It's no need. Yeah. I know you worried about them if you don't get them one, them spazzing out. about not having one because they friends got one. They want one. All their friends ain't got cell phones. Let me let you know that now. Yup, don't stress yourself out thinking that your child the only one running around here without a cell phone. They losing their mind and crying because their friends got one. Why I can't have one? My friend. All their friends ain't got cell phone. Yeah, it's some parents just like you that feel the same way about kids having one. They don't need it, right? So yeah, your kids will be okay. Yup. Yeah, they'll be just fine. When the baby was given one, it upset the class system in the house, right? The youngest doing something. The youngest is never allowed to do something before the oldest, right? I still had it to where the oldest was able to sit in the front seat. You know, it's just certain privileges that you get when you're in a situation when you have multiple children, right? It's like a class system almost, you know. So it's like, that shouldn't be. Because like I said, if we were still married, he wouldn't have got her one. So when he told me he was going to get her one anyway, after I told him not to, I gave him reasons. Yep. Why my reasons wasn't good enough, I don't know. A child is not responsible at that age. Yeah, the baby broke and lost about 4 or 5 phones within that year. Yeah. When I finally gave the oldest her phone around 8th grade, she was more responsible. We didn't have any problems out of her. It was a need at that time. Like I said, some days I would pick her up, some days I wouldn't. She would catch the bus with her friends. Either way, she needed one. But she didn't have access to social media. It was only the call. Yeah. For 8th grade. 9th grade she was, but yeah, 8th grade, just phone, just a call. When you give your youngest, your little kid, a child, a phone, do you put parental controls on it? Or you just give it to them? You lying. You lying. You don't put no parental controls on there. You just get that baby that phone. Oh my God. So your baby all on the internet. Your baby probably on social media. They seeing some of the same things you seeing. They seeing porn. Yep. They seeing world disasters. They seeing wars play out. Yeah. They seeing people being unalive right in front of them. That's what your kids see. As soon as they turn on their phone and go on the internet and start surfing the web. Yep. They find out real time just like you. Yep. I was preserving innocence. I didn't want my babies to grow up too fast. I was controlling the influences around them. And I was controlling what they were exposed to. Yeah. So by not exposing the oldest to all of that until 8th and 9th grade, it cut out the interest to have it. Yeah, she wasn't so quick to want to be on it and all that. Yeah, because I filled her life up with so many other things that when it came to the cell phone and social media, she wasn't that interested in it. Oh yeah. Now when she did get on there, she snuck on there. Yeah, I want to say it was Instagram. She snuck on there and she was on there posting for parties for this little gentleman, right? And she didn't know how to tell me because she was getting on there for business, but of course it was going against me having her on social media. I had already had a talk with her about it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, she snuck on there and got on there anyway. She apologized when I found out. Yeah, she knew how I felt about social media, so sneaking around. So yeah, she got her ass whooped for that. Oh yeah, she got that ass toe up for that. Yep, going behind my back, knowing it was wrong, right? Sneaking. No, y'all, I ain't with her. I ain't with her. I had a long talk with her. She apologized. said it wouldn't happen again. But once she let me know her reason for going on, and I seen it was just to make money, yeah, I allowed it. And I let her know, don't do it again, because I got a trust system set up with my children, right? So it's no need to lie. It was no need for her not to come to me and ask me, was it okay? Yeah, you would have took the chance of me saying no, but be honest. Because, I teach that in that integrity class, about being honest, right? So all that sneaking and all, don't do that. Yeah, so I was mad, but we didn't have any issues moving forward. Yeah. So yeah, because it was business, I allowed it. I was on board. Because you got to keep in mind, that's what I was teaching them. She was doing the candy bags, and then that escalated up to her promoting the parties, getting paid for that. So, yeah. So now she's learning a different method of promotion and marketing outside of what I had already taught her. Right? Because remember, we were passing out flyers, putting flyers on the cards, going to events and passing out flyers to our events and telling people what the flyer was for and what the organization was about, what we were going to do, blah, blah, blah. So she knew that way of marketing, but now she's learning a new way on social media. So promotion and marketing through promoting those parties. Right? So, yeah. Those were just more building blocks. Yep. And the baby's sucking it all in because she right there in the midst of it. She used to be out with us passing out the flyers. Now she's hearing the conversations about us with the social media and her sister promoting. So just sucking it all in, right? We found out the baby had social media pages. Found out, right? So again, sneaking around, lying, all that type of deceitfulness. Oh my God. So when we found out, Dad tried to act like he knew already. Yeah. He ain't know. He was just as shocked as we were. Just as shocked as we were. But he tried to act like he knew, won't tell me, oh, we following her. We on her page. Okay, what about me though? What about me? I need access to her page as well. I need access to find. Then I'm asking the baby. It's like I'm pulling teeth to find out what her social media pages is. It was like they did everything they could to exclude me from things. I remember when they had her set up with the 360 to locate where she is on her phone, but everybody on it but me, right? He went out his way to exclude me and made sure I wasn't a part of almost everything. I had to fight my way and beg and kiss ass just to be mentioned or be you shouldn't have to do that when it comes to raising your babies. You shouldn't have to do that. It shouldn't be a tug of war. It shouldn't be a competition. It shouldn't be nothing to where it's that hard for you to be in that baby's life. I was already working hard enough. As you see, we in part 22 or 23. Yeah, I was already working hard enough. I shouldn't have to work even harder to be in my baby's life or be a part of her life. Right. So the abandonment started early. Yeah. So while I'm thinking I'm doing everything that I can because she was living with me Monday through Friday, I'm mom. I'm doing everything that moms do. He made me absent by not including me in everything that he was doing with her. He didn't include me in the physicals. Didn't even tell me he was taking her to her physicals. Didn't even have to take her to her physicals. That's not your job. That's not your job. I find out about him taking her to her physicals when I take her to her physical, right? It shouldn't be that much secret, those many secrets and everything done in secrecy. And I should have been very well told about you trying to make her. Then I would have very well let you know you don't have to take her. She got an appointment already scheduled for her physical, Dad. You wasn't taking her to her physicals when we was together, Dad. Stay in your lane, Dad. Just be Dad, right? Taking her to get pictures taken. Taking her wherever he did with her and took her. He never checked in with me, never told me. I had to hear about it after, months later, from maybe the baby or maybe the... Fix it. Jesus. That was exhausting. Just telling you that. Very exhausting. So, yeah. So, yeah, she ended up having a page. I was upset with her. She should have got her ass whooped. Yeah. Because she wasn't doing it for nothing. No promotions and no business. She was just on there, just being on there, just looking at everything, looking at what these people post and being exposed to the internet and all this grown up stuff. Yeah, she should have got her ass whooped. And my suggestion was shutting her page down. Oh, she just gonna start another one. It don't matter. Shut it down. Take her phone. Right? Because it's limited to what I can say and do because I didn't buy the phone and I'm not paying the bill. A phone that she shouldn't even have had. So can you see problems erupting that shouldn't even be? Yeah. All because somebody want to go against me. Yeah. We should have been on the same page. Yeah, because if one of the missions and the goal was to preserve innocence and make sure she didn't grow up too fast, yeah, you got to keep in mind when y'all raising children and y'all separate and break off, a man can't raise a little girl to be a woman, and a woman can't raise a little boy to be a man. So it's going to be certain aspects of your parenting that's going to drift off to where mom is going to have to take the lead on certain things. Dad is going to have to take the lead on others. Me, myself, I should have been the one taking the lead on that when it comes to preserving innocence because I can teach her how to curve the boys. I can teach her how to say no. I can teach her the importance of why she should preserve her innocence and not be so quick to want to sleep with this dude, that dude, and that dude, right? So me, I preserved my innocence. I was a virgin for a long time. Yeah, I was a virgin until it was taken from me. Yeah, I still probably would have been a virgin for a few more years if it wasn't taken. Yeah, so I knew all too well on how to get through those years to make sure you didn't give it up and give it up to the wrong person. So yeah, I should have been able to take the lead there. Yeah. Why wouldn't he trust me with that? You know, I had been doing so well. I was a mother of 4 before he came into the picture. Yep, I had custody of my 2 little brothers. I had my own son. They were doing very well. My oldest daughter was doing very well. My sons had children and they were fathers to their children. Both of them. And both of them was fatherless little boys. That right there should have spoke volumes for me being a mom and a parent. Right? That should have spoke volumes. The fact that my sons were fatherless boys and they are fathers to their children. Just let that sink in for a minute, right? So yeah, why my efforts and everything I did didn't count, didn't mean nothing, baby. Only person gonna suffer is my child. Yeah. Only person gonna suffer, she's gonna struggle in life. When she becomes a mom, she's going to be hit with so many decisions that she got to make and things that she have to do that she has no clue on what to do about. All because of what he's done. Robbing her of a mom, she's definitely going to struggle being a mom. Definitely going to struggle being a mom, right? So, yeah. Yeah, so the fact that my boys were still alive on this earth, not incarcerated, working, taking care of their business, taking care of themselves because they was out of the house at this time, being fathers to their children. Yeah, we were doing okay. Yeah. Because that was a mission. Yeah, that was a mission for me. If my boys have children, for them to be a part of their children's lives. Yeah, that was a mission. So it was a plan put in place to make sure that they were fathers to their children if they ever had any. So when y'all break up, that mission should still be the same. Yeah. Just because one person's address changed, yeah, the mission when it comes to those children, it should still stay the same. Nothing should change with that. Yeah, nothing should change with that. Not having a cell phone until there's a need. Yeah, that gives you time to teach your baby phone etiquette. Yeah. That would include social media. That would include the dangers of the internet. That would include you not filming people without their knowledge. Stuff like that. Not talking on the phone, on the speaker in public. Not all loud on your phone. Not playing. Man. Yeah, those are things that you would be able to talk to your baby about before you actually give them a cell phone. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if you must give them one under the age of 13, make sure you have parental controls set. Yeah. His mission was to upset my household. And typically, if you got somebody that's using the baby as a pawn and they're trying to get back at you, they bitter, whatever the case may be, still want you, and they using that baby, the mission with that baby is to disrupt your household and cause discord. Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind. Making sure everybody is at each other's throats. Making sure everybody's angry all the time. Yeah, it's never unrest here. It's always something going on. It's always drama, right? That's their mission. Just like I put together a plan for the children to get the product that I wanted to prepare us for life and this society and what we were trying to do. Yeah, he had a mission too, to bring us down. Yeah. And what they do is they put together a plan to do that as well. Yeah. They think about the manipulation tips that they have to use. They think about who to lie to, what lies to tell, and who to lie to, right? They think about how many manipulation tips to use at a time to get the desired product that they want, right? And that chances are that's getting the baby out your life or turning the baby against you, right? Or making it to where the baby don't like you so much that even though they're in your life, they make you feel like they wish that you wasn't. Ain't that crazy? For a child to make a parent feel like they don't want them in their life, they hate them, not listening to them, no love, no respect, no relationship in my case. None. Can you imagine that? 7 years going without talking to your child or seeing your baby, and you don't know what you did wrong, and probably didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah. Yeah, one of his missions was to take credit for everything. Make it seem like he was a solo single parent. Make it seem like she's established and doing everything she's doing because he worked so hard and he put in all the work single-handedly by himself. One of his missions was to make sure he was the only one that took credit for her. Even though he ain't got no degree and she in school, he took credit for that. Even though she got a business, because I taught her about entrepreneurship when she was 9 years old, she got a business. He taking credit for that, right? Her getting to all them trophies that she got was because I took her to every award, every practice she had, I took her, right? But he getting credit for all that. But that was his mission. So when he talking to people, he wasn't using the words we. It was always I, as if he was doing it all by himself, right? When he see people and they would ask about me, he would make it seem as if he ain't talked to me. He don't know what I'm doing or what I'm into. Yet and still, I got this office. I got a youth program that's been on the news. I'm getting awards for a radio show that I have. You know, you very well know what I'm doing, sir, right? Ain't told nobody nothing when they ask about me, right? Lying to people, telling people that she lived with them, solely with him. Not letting them know, oh, I only get her on the weekends because the mama take her and get her to school and this and that. She lives solely with him. Why would he have to lie about those things to people? Oh, because you're setting the stage, right? You're creating a narrative, right? Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. So yeah, that was one of his missions. So by him pulling her out at 15 and a half on her way to 11th grade, she was already who she was going to be. She was already everything that I had put into her. She was already the product that I wanted her to be. What could he have done different those last 2 years of having her? Nothing. He didn't remove her from a new school. He didn't uproot her and take her to Bloomfield or anything. He didn't make her situation better. She just stayed with him for those last 2 years, and he was able to take credit for everything just because I'm not there. Yeah, last 2 years. So all those years of me getting up, taking her to school, no matter how I felt, walking, taking her to school, I gets nothing. Him and the mama was the only one that hurt penny. Ain't that something? Do you know how bad that hurt? To know that I put in all that work and not get nothing out of it. You're supposed to get something from your kids. I know don't nobody owe you nothing in this life. I know that. That's not what I'm saying. But if you put in so much, as much work as I put in, you should be able to sit back and gloat. You should be able to sit back and brag. You should be able to sit back and take credit for everything that you put into those children for them to turn out the way that they did. Right? Her in a black college, I should be able to take credit for that. I should be able to sit back and brag just like him. We both should be proud of her accomplishments. Not just him. We both should be there to be able to take credit for that. And that's how it's supposed to be. Y'all both supposed to be able to take credit for that baby and that baby's accomplishments. Because y'all both put in work to make it happen. He couldn't have did it without me. He couldn't have did it without me. That baby wouldn't be who she is if it wasn't for her sister and her brother and her uncles and me. Right? So she wouldn't be who she is. We took such good care of her, she wouldn't be who she is without us. Right? So to be able to turn her back on us and everybody okay with that and encouraging it, yeah, she was already who she was going to be. All he did was poison her mind. Yeah. Me and my children taught her everything that she know. Yeah. We all raised her. Yeah. Everybody played their role. Yeah. Everybody did their part. Yeah, as far as responsibilities go and whatnot. Yeah. We was good. You know. Everybody got along with each other. We didn't have any problems. Only problem we had at this time was the baby having a cell phone before the oldest. Yeah. So the oldest every now and then would spaz out about it not being fair. Every time he would call throughout the day and she see that baby on the cell phone, she felt away. And she should have, right? Because why does baby get a cell phone and I don't? Right? Why she got one and I can't have one? Right? It's not fair. And it wasn't. And that was something that I taught across the board, being fair in the household. No favoritism. Nobody was able to do this and that and the other wasn't able to do. You know, so when you do that, you cause disruption in the household. Right? So yeah, that went on for a minute. Until I gave her one. 8th grade. Yeah. So now the only issue was the type of phone that she had now. The baby had a newer phone than she did, right? If my parenting wasn't interrupted and if dad wasn't challenging me and in competition and was on board with me, if he didn't give that baby a cell phone, when I gave the oldest one a cell phone and then when it was time to get the baby a cell phone, chances are they would have had the same cell phone. Chances are to cut out arguing, to cut out jealousy, to cut out all the other, they both would have had the same damn phone. Right? So like I said, the mission was to cause the score. The mission was to, throw us all off. That's creating competition and jealousy. Yeah. So if he would have waited, they both would have had the same phone, cut out all of that. Why all the challenge? Why was it such a challenge? Right? So these are other C's of co-parenting. Challenge. Yeah, it shouldn't be a challenge against one another when it comes to that baby. Y'all pretty much should be on the same page. It shouldn't be any competition. It shouldn't be any competition. Y'all supposed to be playing for the same team. Yeah. No competition. Cause you want to cut out confusion. You want to cut out confusion. Yeah, you don't want to be telling the baby one thing and then the other parent telling the baby something else and then the baby sitting there in the middle don't know what they're supposed to be doing. You want to cut out the confusion. Yeah. And that happens if both of y'all on the same page, speaking the same language, doing the same things. Right? You don't want too many things to conflict. You don't want too many things to conflict. Because if they're conflicting, chances are they're going to cancel each other out. So those are other C's of co-parenting that we're going to talk about moving forward. So you don't want to cancel nothing out. Because if you cancel it out, the baby ain't learning nothing. Right? You have to respect each other's household. You got to respect the dynamics of each other's household. You should have the same rules in both households. Baby got chores in one household, they should have chores in the other household. It should be the same. If y'all still living together, it would be that way. So, yeah, just because y'all break up, don't try to mess it up. Don't try to switch it up. Y'all mission should still stay the same. So y'all, that's it for Coffee and Conversation. One word for today would be trauma bond. Yep, I gave you, and you're going to have a test on these, so I hope you're paying attention. I gave you a couple words yesterday, so I hope you was paying attention. I'm going to recap them for you. Gaslighting, love bombing, triggered, and toxic. And today, the word is trauma bond. The connection or attachment between an abuser and his or her victim, similar to Stockholm Syndrome. A coping mechanism that occurs when someone develops positive feelings toward their captive or abuser. Trauma bond. Add that to your list of vocabularies. I hope you're getting ready for your test next week. And that's it for Coffee and Conversation with your girl. You buying black? This the Last Prisoner Project, courtesy of Cynthia Haynes. A change is coming, people. Cynthia Haynes from Flint, Michigan gifted me this. Yep. We got Allure Wrist Design. Make sure you click that link and go to their website so you can see all this stuff. They have clothes, jewelry, watches, and they have things for men and women. No bravado bold, but yeah, whatever. All right. So y'all, that's it. I'm out. I got work to do.